Okay, so let's get into it. We're doing a deep dive on a product that's, I mean, it's probably all over your social media feeds, the Osmo Dashcam Pro.
Oh yeah, I've seen the ads.
Exactly. And the promises are huge. We're talking 4K recording, dual cameras, night vision, GPS, all in this super sleek package.
Right. The whole pitch is basically a premium high-end device, but without that, premium price tag you get from the big brands.
And that's where we start. Because our sources suggest that right there, that promise is where the trouble begins.
It is. The central conflict here is transparency, or the lack of it. Our mission is to figure out if there's a huge gap between the slick presentation and the actual product you get in the mail.
So, okay, where do we even begin our investigation? Not with the camera, I'm guessing.
No, not at all. We start with the company itself, or what little we can find out about it. The first red flags come from digital trust indicators.
Okay, what does that mean?
It means that several of these Osmo-branded websites, sites like Osmo.no or Osmo Official, they get pretty bad trust scores on watchdog sites like Scam Advisor, like middle to low.
And why is that? Is the site just broken?
It's more about why the scores are so low.
Mm.
The domains are almost always brand new, and more importantly, the ownership details. They're totally hidden.
Hmm.
Yeah, and when a company is pushing what they claim is a high-end electronic device but won't even tell you who they are, that says a lot about accountability.
That definitely makes you pause. So let's say you buy it anyway. The box arrives. What are people actually saying on places like Trustpilot?
This is where it gets rough. The complaints all seem to point to what we'd call specs inflation.
Specs inflation, meaning
Meaning you're promised 4K, but the device you get feels cheap, it freezes up. And it absolutely does not record in native 4K.
so it's not real 4K video.
Very unlikely. It's probably a much lower quality sensor, and they just, digitally stretch the image. It's upscaled. It's not the real deal.
And that frustration must just get worse when you're trying to get your money back.
That's where it hits a brick wall. People report
Yeah.
that support just doesn't reply. And if you do want a refund, it's either massively delayed or just flat out denied.
Wow.
But here's the biggest red flag of all. Some customers reported being charged extra amounts after the first purchase.
Wait, what? After they already paid?
Exactly.
Yeah.
This kind of aggressive post-purchase billing is not something you see from any legitimate electronics company. It just screams high risk.
And this isn't just coming from a few angry buyers. The skepticism is also really strong in the dash cam enthusiast communities, right? Like on Reddit.
Oh, for sure. They're all over this.
What's the theory there?
The general consensus is that this is a generic, off-the-shelf product, same body, same cheap internals you could find anywhere, but it's been repackaged.
Repackaged and then hit with a massive advertising budget.
Precisely. You're not paying for the components.
Yeah.
You're paying for the slick ads that convinced you to buy it.
Okay, but hold on. I have to ask this because the data says 52% of the reviews we looked at were positive. That's more than half.
Right.
How does that work? If it's so bad, how are so many people happy with it?
And that's the necessary balance. It's
Yeah.
not an empty box situation. You will get a product, and for many people, a dash cam that sort of works is good enough.
I see.
But when you put everything together, the hidden ownership, the terrible support, the fake specs, and especially those post-purchase charges, it fits perfectly into that category of high hype, low support electronics. The potential savings just don't outweigh the risk.
So the bottom line for you, the listener, is this. If you buy the Osmo Dashcam Pro, you're probably not getting a real high-end alternative.
Right. You're likely getting a generic product from a business that is, let's say, highly non-transparent, and you're accepting the risk of really bad support and maybe even those weird billing issues.
Which leaves us with a really important final thought.
Yeah. It raises the question, how do you as a consumer vet a product that uses all the language of luxury and premium quality when the company behind it refuses to be transparent about who they even are? That's the real cost you have to think about.